habitat.
Yeah.
How well behaved everybody is in the audience. Oh, that's really
Come on, everyone! Emojis, please! Come on, let's go, let's hear it. Let's see the emojis. Woo! Yeah! Awesome! Awesome! Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. That lovely tune was from Try Hard. Thank you, Try Hard, for the lovely Hive tune. That was so awesome. Yay! Let's just celebrate that for a minute. Yeah, I love it so much. Thank you so much, Try Hard, for helping out the Hive here. Welcome, everyone, to the Hive in Altspace, a show about whatever we can come up with this week, because we have full-time jobs. So, today's show is also going to be streamed on YouTube, so we want to say hello to the Orbis community who said, we don't know what time your show is because we don't know how to convert time, and I also could not help them. So if you're watching us, hello to you. I know there's some kind of thing about a thing with a boss and a raid. I don't know these words. Anyway, we have Orbus VR here today, and look at this lovely set that our wonderful head developer Jacob built. If you know anything about Orbus, it'll look very familiar. At the end of the show, we can talk with our guests, and we'll all jump into Orbus all together at once. I also had a chance to try Orbus. It's okay. So I'm not a gamer, but okay. So this is like a big deal because it's like a MMO. Is that?
MMO, Vivian.
MMO.
Oh, okay, right. I was, you know what? I was just trying to start a trend. Oh, you know what? I never had to say it out loud. Okay, I've only typed it, so please. So in the Orbis Discord today, I was like, okay, let me just ask you guys some questions. First things first. What does that stand for? And Logan from the Orbis Discord, if you're watching, hello. He said it stands for Moist Monkey Only. And
That's
first
accurate.
of all, okay, okay, so I was picturing things. I was like, put a quarter in the jar because that you cannot say that word, okay? But anyway, so they told me it's a massively something online.
Massive multiplayer online.
Oh, right. Okay, yes. Thank you. And I think it's something like, it's like Overwatch, something like that too? Yeah, so is that an example? No?
Not really.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. All I can tell you is that that's the only game I've ever tried that didn't have card flipping, and I die within 20 seconds. So anyway, I tried Orbus because, well, they're on the show. Everyone on the Hive Discord is constantly talking about it, getting everyone to get onto this game. So I was like, okay, I'm so glad you asked. The funny thing was, they were like, yeah, just go do the tutorial. It'll take 20 to 30 minutes. I'm like, done. But I thought I heard Shannon say, you don't really have to read it. So I didn't. I was in there for over an hour. And I wish I was exaggerating or kidding, but I was in there for an hour. And here's a video of when I actually did the game. So go ahead and take a look.
No, because it's still early release.
Yeah.
Vivian's got an eye that looks like it's a different color.
Oh shit.
You
How dare you?
your eye!
You can't just go back asking me what's wrong with their eyes. I'm gonna die.
Here, let me fix the other eye.
Look at all these freaking dragons around us.
Good now.
I don't want to kill anything. I'm getting nauseated.
Look how adorable Vivian looks now that she's sitting down.
Help! Help!
You put it
This is
behind
the
your head all the way and squeeze your grip.
Oh.
They're attacking us.
Put your pistol down. You ran
That was
through
probably
all
Troy.
of them, and then they aggroed because you just ran through them all.
So I pulled him all over here.
What's the super
Vivian,
attack?
Where's
Troy
Vivian?
killed me. I died. I'm dead, guys.
I'm stuck on Vivian. We're stuck together. I'm turning sideways.
I am. I'm hitting it. Where
There's no whining in MMOs, Vivian.
I will whine if I want to. I don't even know why I'm here.
Oh shit!
Vivian's getting attacked.
I'm coming.
That's okay. I'm just gonna.
Where is it? Kill the Pikachu.
I am. Wow, that was badass. Thanks.
Go. Hit it.
I'm hitting it.
Oh, there it is. Die, evil beast. Get it, Viv. Get it. Kill it, Vivian.
I did.
Woo!
Good job.
All right.
That did not make me feel good as a
Celebrate.
vegetarian. Give you XP, right?
Use the cube of zapping. Get it, Vivian.
Oh, good.
Get it, Shannon.
Let's head back to the Guardian Bart to show off your thing. Or we
Wait a
just gonna do
minute.
little
Where's
video?
Vivian? Vivian, get over here.
Okay. What?
You're level 3. I look at myself. I'm not even halfway through level 2. I suck.
Alright, I'm gonna go.
Shooting Viv. All right, bye. Bye, lady.
Alright.
It was fun.
Hi, Vivian. Sad Gamer Dad. I think it's really awesome that you had Orbis VR on the Hive. And I want to say it was a pleasure questing with you. Wait, who am I kidding? And let's not ever quest again. That was pretty bad. Good luck. And seriously. Have a great show. Bye, guys. Take care, kiddos.
Oh,
Grab the burn kid. Sad gamer.
What? I'm sad gamer, non-gamer person now. First of all, I got to level 3. So I don't even understand, but yeah, thank you. It was, well, I was very tired from the tutorial because everyone just laughed at me because there's like these people around, you're supposed to go talk to them. So I talked to them and I waved, I was like, hi, Guardian Bart. Excuse me, sir, what do I do now? Anyway, as someone who's inside the game, having to go on quests and kill things, it was actually really cool, and I kind of want to try it again, but only in large groups, because Shannon did this thing where there was like green stuff, and she was like, I guess I'm just going to have to go around healing you, because you keep getting killed. But anyway, so it was a lot of fun, and we have today Riley Dutton, who's the creator of Orbus VR. We have Mathieu Dugon, who is a community manager of Orbus VR, and I want all of the emojis for them as we welcome them on stage. Come on, guys, come on, all of them. Wait, I'm watching all of you. I'm scoring you, all of them. Let's see it. All right, guys, welcome on the stage. Oh, see, how is that? How's space navigating for you? Good.
Good, I got it. We got
Right.
it. Is my mic
Good.
working? Hello.
If anything sucks, if anything comes out and attacks you, good, because that happened to me in your game. So I'm kidding. All right. Well, you know, I wish I could say that like I'm just playing and pretending, but I am just not a gamer. Beyond Candy Crush, some board games, I just really suck at computer stuff. But I did have fun. All right. So long as you read the text, okay, and follow directions. It was actually really fun.
Hey, it's really. I will say that that's something we're always working on, because I know there are going to be a lot of people who are probably VR people who maybe haven't played an MMO before or aren't really hardcore gamers. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible. An MMO is a very complex game. It's kind of like if you were ranking game, like you said, like Candy Crush, and then you might have like first-person shoot. Like an MMO is like one of the top in terms of just how complicated it is. So it's kind of hard to boil it all down into a half-hour tutorial if you've never played one before. But we're doing our best. So
I just want to point out that before I quit Candy Crush, I did make it to level 500. Just throwing it out there in case you guys want to give me emojis. Wow. Thank you. Wow. I know, right? That was years ago. So okay, but well, that's the appeal that I thought, because at first everyone was like, "Oh, MMO," but wait, I'm sorry. I'm gonna call it a MO and hope that it catches on, so that I'm less embarrassed. But
sounds great.
So I tried the MO, and it was so interesting because the movements reminded me of when I got stuck on what was that, Black Desert Online, for which I played 30 minutes of and have never played again because it takes forever to get from one spot to another.
I'm starting to sense a pattern here.
Where I try lovingly because my friends ask me, so I go and do it. Is that something? No? Okay. All right.
Great.
Well,
yeah. So, you guys, looking at the video, I've never seen that video before, and you guys look like you were having fun, which that's what we're going for. Just let people have a good time. It's okay if it takes you a little longer to level up or, you die a few times, that's okay. That's part of the fun. If you play it for a few hours, I'm sure you'll get a lot better at it. So,
definitely.
But
yeah, the tutorial is very hard, guys. You guys might want to reconsider the tutorial.
Yeah. You said you enjoyed skipping it, though, right?
Well, let's pretend that I don't know how to read. Okay, maybe you should accommodate for that.
I don't believe that for a second.
Okay, all right, fine. I just suck so bad. But once I got over the screaming, because like those red tail things, they like attack you. Like they look cute, but they like actually come at you. Like
the only thing I was kind of sad about was just looking at that video. You guys, that you were only in like the beginner zone, so that you only got to experience about like 2%
I'm a
of the
beginner.
game world.
I thought I explained this. No, first of all, that was me. Okay, our Hive group they've been playing for quite some time. Okay,
awesome.
And they're like beginning to go with Vivian so we can help her. And they're like, no, I want to stay at this level. So, but they did eventually come back. But it was cool to see them actively going and talking about it and doing it. And so I kind of, it's like I wanted to join in, but I'm so like lazy, I guess. And so
you can
like,
sit down and play. It works.
Oh yes, I did. Eventually I sat down. But what I liked was that you go around and you kind of like talk to people. Apparently, you're not supposed to really talk to people, but and then they send you on quests like go make a potion for me, and then go and defeat a stag. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, Matthew, you want to just give like the general overview of what like an MMO is, just in case people watching who don't know.
Just in case my friends are watching.
I would say an MMO is like it's a game. The main elements is that it's a game where you do quests and stuff, but it has a singular world or different servers, but a single world with many people participating in it. So there's a lot of social stuff. There's a lot of playing together, playing against each other, but also playing, defeating bosses and stuff together. So
yeah. So like eventually one of the things that's most popular in most MMOs is eventually like running dungeons. So that's where you essentially get a group of like 5 people together. You go and do like a specific hard challenge where you might defeat 2 or 3 bosses and go like deep down into a cave, or we have one that's like an old mad wizard's lair and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's really about like learning the game mechanics. Obviously is important, and you can't really play the game if you don't know the mechanics, but once you get those down, it's really about working with other players to accomplish, overcome challenges, and have fun while you're doing it. So, and we're really excited to be bringing that, format to VR. That's something that was not really been done yet. And, as people who love playing MMO games in traditional, 2D PC gaming, that's really something that we're passionate about, is kind of bringing that into VR in a way that takes advantage.
It really adds a bigger social element to it, because people are really next to you, and you can really, like the other day I was just having fun traveling with a few people that I hadn't met before, and the sense of community is way higher than it usually is in a game like that, because you're just, you're traveling together and you're hanging out, you're having fun, and making friends. It's great.
That's true.
addition.
I'm going to shout out to Shogu, who is a YouTuber who joined in, but then he quickly saw how bad I was, so he went fishing. Okay? So he'd rather go fishing, than help me beat the guys with the
Fishing
buckets
is very relaxing.
I was going to say, to be fair, fishing is very fun. So it might not be, you might just flip that around. He just really likes it.
You might enjoy it.
That was the issue. I wanted to go fishing, and I was like, jealous. But like he chose to do that and not help me get to the fishing part. And anyway, maybe next time. That's the thing about this game, though, is that it's the first. So once, like, what's your history with VR, and like what made you, like, were you racing against the clock, or any competitors be like, we got to be the first ones, or let's hear a little history about that.
Yeah, so I guess just a little history about like me in particular. Prior to this project, the last thing that I worked on was co-founding an online gaming platform called Roll20, which lets you play Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder and like tabletop games over your web browser. So that was what I did before this. And after, like, I've been doing that for a few years, and I was kind of ready for my next, start something new. And I had just gotten my VR headset, like I had gotten an HTC Vive, and the first time I put it on, I just did some of the games that it came with back then, and I was just like blown away by how cool VR was, and I like the motion controllers and the whole thing. It just really, I was like, wow, this is amazing. I've got to get involved in this somehow. And so I started doing just some tech demos that I threw up on YouTube with like the rune casting, like if you've seen the videos of the game where you draw spells to cast them. And that got some positive feedback. And I told myself I'm not going to make an MMO because that's like crazy, you know? Like I was like, that's going to be so hard. I'm not going to do it. It's very ambitious. I'm like, I'm just going to make a single player fantasy game. But then the more I started working on it, the more I was like, you know, this really needs to be an MMO. So yeah, that's kind of how it came about, was really just me, I guess, loving VR. And then I started assembling a team, obviously, which now we have like 7 or 8 people that work on the game with me, and you know, they're all great. So yeah, I think that's kind of the story behind it. You know, there are other people that I've seen working on, you know, VR MMOs, and I'm sure that eventually like a AAA studio will hopefully, you know, put one out long term. But you know, I wouldn't say we're racing against anybody else. I would say we're doing our thing. I'm making the game, and we're making the game we think is cool. And, you know, we're just hoping there's an audience out there that appreciates it like we do and wants to, you know, get involved and enjoy it. So. And
so far, people have been really, really enjoying it and really positive about it, which has been awesome.
Yeah, so I went to your Discord a while back to get to know the community, and everyone was really nice, which always surprises me because I make really bad first impressions, second impressions, third impressions, and I was saying really bad things and just wrong, and they were really nice and welcoming, so I relaxed a little bit. You know, everyone intimidates me, so I was...
They've seen worse, don't worry.
Oh, okay, good. All right. You know, maybe I should try this mow-out thing. You know, maybe I fit in better. No? Maybe. Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we do have a great community, though, and one of the things that I'm really passionate about, and I did with Roll20, and I feel like we're doing a good job with this game, too, is really building it with the community. You know, one of the there's disadvantages to like playing an indie MMO, right? Like, you know, the development team size has to be smaller and the scope has to be smaller and that kind of stuff. But the main advantage, I think, is that, you know, a passionate development team can really work with the community to make something that's like amazing and was better than we would have come up on our own. And if you go visit our Discord or our forums, you know, you'll see that we're in there every day, every hour, you know, talking to the community about how to make the game better. And, you know, we're really passionate about that. So.
Yeah, I think someone got mad because they're like, how did Riley have time to do your show? He's on a deadline. So they're holding you accountable. But so, you know, but I want to talk more about the community because we're all about community building here. Sure. But first, you know, I've made it known that VR developers, I feel like there's a market out there for them, and that's me, just me alone. I will buy all the things. I really like, you know, cutesy things. Like, why can't we have more games with, like, ponies and, you know, like, anyway. So the point is I love your color scheme, purple, pink, and then before I knew that those guys were going to try and kill me, they were really cute. And there's a pet dragon that,
like... I was say the dragon. That's your
dragon. It, like, that's, you can't see me, but I'm doing the dance of the dragon.
And there's going to be more cute pets, too, so...
Yeah, and it purrs and stuff. So I really like... I like the color scheme. It wasn't terribly scary. I'm a little scared of certain things, but what inspired the artwork? Like, what was the idea behind it?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, so these screenshots are showing our like art style rework that we did about 2 months ago ish now. Before that, if you see older screenshots of the game or alpha or beta trailers, you'll notice that it had more of a like low poly boxy kind of style, like faceted style, I guess you'd call it. And that was largely driven just by necessity. It was easier for us to get the game out the door, and if we use those kind of graphics as opposed to doing like photorealistic. Plus, it's easier for VR computers to render when you're doing like a big open world game. But about 2 months ago, our sort of lead artist Elijah came to me and he was like, you know, I really think our art style needs some work, and I really think I have an idea of how we can make it better. And he basically pitched this idea of going to this sort of cell shaded with hand painted textures on the terrain style. That's kind of like similar like Breath of the Wild for the latest Zelda game if you've played that. And it's turned out really great. So you know, I would say the answer to that question is Elijah, our 3D artist.
And I would say it's probably the biggest thing that people were complaining about before was the art style, and everyone's been really enjoying the change. So it's really encouraging.
Yeah, and I've heard, you know, you guys mentioned that you're going to add more options for, you know, eyes, hair.
For you specifically, yeah.
Yes, he heard me, guys. The ball gown, I will hold you to that. But I don't know why people really care so much about customizing avatars. I mean, like, how shallow do you have to be to like want everything customized, you know? But what can people look forward to for as far as like customizing, you know, getting upgrades from the potato sack that they wear to the ball gun that you will give me?
Yeah, well, so in an MMO, just in general, one of the main things is getting new gear as you get more powerful in the game and you defeat more powerful enemies. So we have, you know, lots of different gear with different styles. So if you see somebody in the game who's level 20, they're going to look way cooler than somebody who's level 1 and just started playing the game, obviously. Then in addition to that, we use our cape slot, our back slot, as our cosmetic slot, our achievement slot. So if you defeat... you know, like a world boss, you might get a cape that you can wear around to show everybody that, like, you know, I've done that. That's something that I'm really proud of. And then in addition to that, you know, we're going to have additional, like, hair and, like you said, face styles and additional pets and things like that, too. So...
Ooh, additional pets. The dragon is super cute. I feel bad because I can't finish the quest to get him more food. And I feel like a bad dragon mother dragons thing.
Oh, you know.
But anyway...
He's immortal, so...
Yeah. Oh. Well, anyway, I'm not kidding you. It really was a lot of fun.
Good,
you know, eventually just hitting them, I thought it was a good workout. But the people I went with, you know, I had Sad Gamer Dad who did the little video, and Shannon, the producer, some of our friends in the Hive, they all, you know, like Troy, they came out they're like, yeah, let's go. And I also felt really bad because they had to listen to me on Discord crying and like, I don't know how to make this work. How do I switch things? That sort. And that's just me, not the game, because everyone else was doing it fine. But overall, it was a lot of fun to play with my friends. But let's say I didn't have friends, which I kind of don't in real life. How would I go about like playing a game? How would I find people? Like, what's your best suggestions there?
Well, right now we just, in terms of purely in-game stuff, we just implemented the first group finder, which is a way for people to recruit more people, or if you're looking for friends for adventuring, for exploring, or for doing a dungeon, you can go in the group finder and put a listing which people will hopefully join. We just put that in. Other than that, there's always, you know, forums and Discord, but we're trying to really get the tools for people to be able to find, you know, really find friends to play with. And people have been really nice as well. Just randomly, you just go to someone in town randomly and talk to them, and they'll usually be super willing to group up. But you know, you can't always expect that either.
Yeah,
right.
Well, one of the things that I'm really big on for this game is what I call like serendipity, right? So, well, not that I invented that word, obviously, but like I would say serendipity in the game, which is that you know, basically, in a lot of MMOs, you know, there's like this idea that like you just hop on and you instantly teleport to the dungeon and you never have to talk to anybody and any of this stuff. And I did not want our game to be like that, especially because it is in VR and it's this opportunity to interact with people with the voice chat and the physical presence. So, you know, the game is actually designed such that hopefully, you know, the way we designed the quests and them to overlap and you to constantly be going back and forth between the same places as other people, the idea is that hopefully you're going to run into people in the game world and that you're going to make friends, you know, just without even trying, right? Like, I'm going to see a person, I'm walking to go where I want to go, I see a person over there who's in trouble, I'm going to naturally want to go over and help them out real quick, and then, hey, now I just made a friend, and maybe they can help me with my quest and that kind of stuff. So, and that does happen happen
all the time. It always happens. And we also have...
That's so nice.
We also have fellowships, which are kind of player guilds or clans, which are, you just join them with your friends, and you can always talk to your friends online wherever they are in the world, as long as you're in the same fellowship. So that's a real nice way to, even if you're not doing the same thing together, you can still hang out and, you know, socialize.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to lie. You know, I talked to, what are those characters called? Like the ones that don't, like they answer
NPCs.
Questions?
Yes.
NPCs. Okay. Yeah, I know.
NPCs.
So I didn't know what that meant.
Non-player characters.
Oh, thank you for explaining that to me, Shannon. She kept
They
saying
beat me
you're
to
not
it.
Okay, well, no. In the game, she kept saying you can't talk to NPCs. I did not know what she was talking about, and I was like, why?
Yeah, that's not
why are they
their
not
fault. There's
talking
a
to me?
lot of lingo.
Okay.
There's a lot of lingo that comes
I
from,
did.
you know, MMO history that people don't always know.
Well, I was waving my hand. I said, why? Why? What did I do? Is it because of what I'm wearing? So it was a little sad, but don't worry, guys. Apparently, they're not supposed to talk back. You're supposed to read stuff if you like wave hard enough or something. But yeah, other people I saw in there. Actually, I saw some people from Allspace. I don't know them here. I know by their name, and I saw them, so I kind of followed them around a little bit. But Matt, you're the new community manager. Is that correct? You got a new position, so congratulations. Yes. You guys, I don't see emojis, guys. Thank you. So can you talk about your community building and like what your role is and how you'll move forward with it?
Right now, I'm kind of helping in just about every aspect. I'm trying to help people get their ideas. Like if they have suggestions, if they have problems with the games, they can just post about it or tell me, and then I'll have the show the devs what's going on. But I'm also trying to encourage activity with Discord, with forums, and taking care of, it's kind of a position that has a lot of different things attached to it. So it really depends from day to day. Yeah, a lot of hats.
Yeah. So, and that's how it is on a small team, right? Not everybody you don't just do one job, right? It's like, today you're in charge of sorting through the bug list. Tomorrow you're in charge of sending out a newsletter and that kind of thing. So it just,
okay, I'm just saying, like, as the person who talks on the show, like, I'm not allowed to do anything else on the show. The team won't let me. So that's nice that you guys have team players. I'd like to know what that's like because they just say, go on and say stuff. So anyway, that sounds awesome. Like, I would love to be I'm totally ragging on my team. I'm sorry. I love you guys. But it's true. They won't let me do anything. So, okay, well, let's get a little technical here. That's something I do know because I know these things have buttons. I know how to press them. I know how to turn them on. What do we need to play Orbus?
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, you have to have an HTC Vive or an Oculus Rift right now. We do have some basic support for the new Windows Mixed Reality set that just came out, but I haven't had a chance to like super thoroughly test it yet, so I can't promise it works amazing. I know there's a couple people that have used it.
Yeah,
and there's another person who
I've
had
met
it
some
and
people
like
that
it.
use it.
Yeah, so
I know quite a few people who use it, guys, right?
That use it in Orbus?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, just,
Okay.
no, just in general. Like.
Oh well, yeah. No, I'm sure there's a ton of people that use it. I just mean I haven't had a chance to test in our game yet.
Oh, right, guys, he hasn't had a chance. Calm down, everyone. Calm down. Don't overreact.
We're going to though. There's no reason we shouldn't work. But yeah, I guess basically you have to have a VR headset that has the motion controllers and all that. You can't use like Google Daydream or something like that with it. And then you just need any computer that can run VR according to minimum specs from Vive and Rift can run our games. So basically, if you have a VR computer, then you're pretty much set. And then obviously you have to have an internet connection because it's an MMO, so you can't play by yourself.
Okay, I got a question, and I guess people want to know this. Can you kill other players? Is that the
yeah, you can in specifically defined areas. So there are 4 zones that are called the wild zones, and they're max level, so you only go there when you're already level 20, which is the highest level in the game. You get a warning when you go in there that you're entering a wild zone. And essentially, when you're in there, other players can attack you. If they do, they become bandits, though. So it's like not like encouraged in the sense that like it's like against the game rules, but we just allow you to do it. And then if you become a bandit, there's like a bounty on your head, and other players can basically bring you to justice to avenge the person that you killed.
I like this.
So
I like this a lot.
And I
want to do that.
We also have an arena mode that we're working on. It's not final right now, but you're able to queue for an arena mode where right now it's you against like a free for all. You start at level 1. Everyone starts on the same footing, which is great because you don't need to have invested a lot of time.
I did not start on the same footing.
You just try to kill each other.
Yeah,
but you get reset. But right now we're it's not final. We're still kind of thinking of ideas for that mode.
Yeah, but I do just want to point out, in case anyone's watching who does not like PvP at all, does not like the idea of someone else in the game other than a monster being able to kill them, you can do everything in the game, never go into a PvP zone. All the dungeons, all that stuff. If you don't want to participate in PvP, then there's no reason you have to. So it's
Excuse me.
Yes.
I have a question. Okay. Yes.
Yes.
PvP.
Oh yes, player versus player.
Darn, they beat me to
So
it
that
again.
would be, yeah.
Shannon. Oh man. Excuse me, I read books. Thank you. Okay. All right. Well, it is getting me excited because before I played the game, I heard everyone talking about it. I guess I just wanted to be a part of the cool kids or something, you know. But they were talking about like drawing runes. First of all, what is a rune? Secondly, I like the idea of drawing things. So
it's a magical drawing.
Magical drawing. Okay, but like, what? Is are you drawing a masterpiece or like what's going on?
No, one of the I would say the most advanced combat class in the game in terms of difficulty to play is the runemage, and you have to go on a special quest to even unlock it because we didn't want you to just have it right when you start the game because it is difficult to play, and we didn't want people being discouraged because they were like we're brand new to the game and they thought it's all this hard, right? Because it's not. It's just that one class. But the way that it works is basically you get a wand and then you'd have to draw certain shapes in order to cast the spell. So it's not you don't just press a button that says cast fireball like you would in a normal MMO. Instead, you have to draw like a special shape, and when you draw that special shape, that casts a fireball spell. So there's something like 18 different spells in the game right now, I think, or something like that you have to so essentially like it's really the coolest part of the game in some ways, and I get excited just talking about it because
it shows that was your first idea as well.
It was, and it's something you
VR.
can. Right, exactly. Well, you can only do it in VR. Like, you could not make a 2D game where you could actually have this mechanic be as effective as it is in VR, right? Like, drawing with the mouse, it would not be the same. And the other thing that's really cool about it is, instead of it being this, like, artificially gated, you know, when in most MMOs or RPGs, when you play the game, it's like, you start with the level 1 fireball spell, and then you get level 3, which is still just pressing a button, and you only have it because, you know, you played the game 10 hours or whatever, right? You're not any better at the game. They just give you that spell. Well,
is that normal?
That's not very much time for an MMO.
Yeah.
But
okay. So it's more than a shift. Got it.
With this rune mage mechanic, like your ability to cast spells better and be better at the game is direct result of your like actual skill getting better. So like you could be a level 1 rune mage and be the best at drawing spells in the game if you were just like naturally talented at it, right? Like you could.
Yes.
There's no like unlocking something you have to unlock or anything like that. Other than
it's really
the class
impressive
in the first place. Yeah, so if you see these people who can cast these spells, who've practiced it for like 100 hours, I mean, it's like, they're just like amazing. Like they can just whip out, like they can cast 3 fireballs at the same time and get them all like going at the boss, and it's just crazy. So
I don't want to speak too soon, but are they the drawing, the rune?
They're really
good
rune makers.
Okay. Okay, so that actually, I kind of got excited. I was like, that sounds really awesome because maybe, just maybe, there could be something in life that I'm good at. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to speak too soon. But if you guys have any other, quests like shopping or like, like
there's no shopping
letters to the editor. Okay.
Yeah, that's also not a quest.
Okay.
Yeah. I do think, though, I would like to see eventually people play the game who, like, I think one of the things I'd like to do long term, this isn't something you can do in version 1, is figure out if you're not into killing things, right? Like you're just not sorting things or casting spells isn't your thing, still giving you stuff to do in the like world of Orbus, right? So whether that is commenting on or casting a PvP match that someone else is doing, or like spectating, right? Like mini games like they do in like Zelda games and like Final Fantasy games with like the golden saucer, chocobo breeding kind of stuff with like I've had this whole idea of dragon pet egg breeding and hatching and raising and you know what I mean, that kind of cool stuff that you could do even if you have no interest in running around and killing stuff. So
see, look at the people who don't want to. They want to go shopping with me.
Stuff. They like dragon pet breeding. Yes, that's what I want. That's what I'm here for.
Exactly. Okay, so I know that it's supposed to be obvious, but I'm sorry. It was not obvious to me. After the tutorial, which felt like its own game, they were like, you got to go to each person and they just go talk to each of these people and see what they want. Okay, so they needed a quest. Okay, so I kept thinking, oh God, I have to keep doing these things until I start playing the game. And then I was like, oh, this is the game. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, that is the game. So you're doing quests. But I always think like, wait, what am I doing this for? So is there like a story behind it? What's the background here?
Oh my gosh,
for sure.
Don't let our narrative designer hear you say, is there a story?
No, I'm sorry. It's just Uncle Bart was like, and we weren't agreeing on things, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I don't know it.
Yeah. the way it usually works in these type of games, but in this one as well, is that there is side quests, which are just kind of general quests that you go from town to town. You help, townspeople. You help people in the wild. You help people.
Because you're the
all over.
hero. That's you're the
yeah,
hero.
because you're the
Oh,
hero,
we're the
and
heroes!
you're a goody two shoes pretty much, and you're helping everyone. And then there's the main story quest, which is the one that goes from like when you start playing all the way to the end and keeps getting done too. And that one has a bigger impact. You do dungeons, you fight bosses, you have a deeper story as well.
Yeah. So there definitely is a plot to the game. There are there are cinematic cutscenes that go along with it that are like hand painted drawing, with voiceover and everything. So yeah, there's definitely, and I'd say it's about 20 hours is about what it takes to do the main story. Just those quests. It takes about 40 to 60 hours to get all the way from 1 to 20 for the average person.
Average person.
And again, that's actually kind of low for an MMO. Like I think vanilla WoW, classic WoW, when World of Warcraft first came out and I played it, God, I want to say it took like 200 hours to get to max level 60 in that game.
I would have died. I can concur on this, Vivian. I agree. It took at least 200 hours.
Wait, for me,
yeah.
I just want to point out that it literally took me over an hour to get out of the tutorial.
And I mean, the tutorial should take probably 20 minutes. So
yeah, I mean, that's what I was told. It might take you
100 hours. So I don't know.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I also kept talking about to the Guardian, who I now call Uncle Bart, and we were having conversations.
So you're already making a connection.
You become very familiar
with the characters. That's good. That's what we want.
Nice.
Yeah.
He factors into the story. So.
Okay. Well. About the Hive here, we like to talk about, the latest buzz. We want to hear what's going on in the VR world, the non-VR world. We're just trying to keep running this thing out until all space is like, get out of here. But what we like about the Hive is we want to do more than just talk. So we have this idea to make you guys fight off each other. And like I said, I'm not a gamer, so I was like, well, how do I do this? Like, I guess you guys collect things. So I was like, my knowledge, I was like, okay, let's play Memory. Do you guys know that game? Memory? No? All right.
Yeah, matching.
So we're gonna play a matching game, all right? Okay. And we're gonna pit them against each other, and we want you guys to just shout out and try and help them. Oh, there they go. So yeah, we'll play it. It is a really cool hardcore memory game. I don't know. I'm sorry, it's the best I can do.
Sounds awesome.
I'm only playing it if I get an epic cape at the end. That's the only way I'll play.
We better get capes.
Yeah, let's play Spets, guys. Let's play Spets.
$20.
I'm gonna need someone on here to.
I've got a dirty penny and an old sock.
I've got some pocket lint.
All right, I'm gonna stand over here and be your guy. And hold on, just a minute here. Can we get someone to help Riley over here? To assist him? Anyone? Yep. Shannon? No?
Yep, coming. I'm coming.
Vince? Okay, all right. She's gonna help you.
Hi, guys. I'm gonna help Riley. I'm really bad at this game, so I don't know how much help I can offer you.
Is it my turn?
Well, let me explain it. Let me explain it a little bit here. Well, this is the cards in Memory. So remember, well, I don't know if you know. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you're worse than me. But Memory is a game where you flip a card and you flip another card, and if it matches, you get those cards. Okay. And then you keep going to see, I guess, who gets the most cards. But in this vein, we want to, well, punish you, I guess, if you well, I guess you guys can punish each other. So you're trying to defeat them. So you could see their what is that thing called?
Health bars.
Shannon? Oh, health bars. Like, okay, I thought they were talking about candy when they first
their
told me that.
HP.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Percentage.
All right. So.
Or hit points, or whatever, yeah.
Hit points.
Okay, you guys can't keep changing the game, okay? Like, I need to know exactly what it means. All right, go ahead and hit join. And what we're going to have is it's going to be Riley against Mathieu. They're going to try and kill each other.
Oh, wow.
Or destroy each other.
Wow.
You're dead, Riley.
First? Am I first?
Yeah, you're first.
Oh.
You are first.
First mover advantage here. Let's see what we got. -20 points. Minus 50 points.
Oh, remember that one. Remember that one. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh.
He's good. Yeah, go keep going for that 50.
Yeah, keep finding that 50.
You shush over there.
Oh, what?
We're good.
Whatever she said, just try to remember.
Wasn't it one of these?
No.
No.
Nothing to heal. Nothing to heal.
Okay.
I know what's over there.
Save that for later.
Oh
my god. Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness.
Did that hurt or okay? All right.
I mean, look at his hit points, Vivian.
It burned.
Hit points. Look at them.
It burned.
Ah, yes, it burns and it goes down. All right.
Oh my gosh!
You're going down.
You gotta give me a little show, Matthew.
Okay.
Give him a little show.
Oh, I better help a little bit more.
I got lucky on that one.
Yeah, try to help Shannon.
Let's go over on that.
Yeah.
Which one was that?
Left side. No, there's that one. The other one.
Left side.
It's over there on the right side. Go on
Left
the right
side.
one.
The second one.
The second, third one. The fifth one.
I'm probably completely wrong.
No. Come on, take him down.
Oh, come on.
Oh, God,
yeah.
Take him down.
Strike him down now.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Awesome.
Well,
2 out of 3.
I was much better at this game when we practiced it yesterday, I have to say.
All right, we're going to have to go 2 out of 3. We need a rematch over here. My head's in the game now.
Okay, sure. I'm not a gamer, just saying. How many hours did you have on that other game? Okay.
I don't want to talk about it.
Now, do the cards change?
Yes.
Yes, they all changed.
Oh, okay. Come on, be psychic and get that one first. Darn.
No.
All right,
Okay.
find it.
Oh, come on! Are you kidding me? I mean, really?
I think Vivian's cheating. Vivian, are you cheating?
Yeah, she's looking behind the screen.
I'm standing with you.
Matthew's taking performance enhancing.
Oh, yes! Yes!
I'm cheating. You see that?
Ha-ha!
Playing loose focus. Okay.
You have Jacob hiding behind the wall.
Oh, that was...
It's not the same one.
We've seen that
It's
one.
not the same number.
Oh, that wasn't it, though.
Oh, that would be good, though. You can get some health back.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, we don't.
Oh, no.
Destroy them.
Oh, come on.
Oh, no.
Why do I keep fighting this for you? Why does that
Yeah,
keep
you find
happening?
them all for me.
Try to heal yourself.
Oh, we've seen that one. Where was that one at?
Yeah, we've seen that
Oh,
one.
goodness.
I know where
Help
it is,
her.
too.
Help her.
Top right.
Can the audience,
Can
the audience
Can I phone
point?
Can I pull the audience?
Point with your hands.
Yeah.
Point something.
It's that one.
How am I stunned? I can't point any better than I am.
It's a dat one.
Ooh, that'd be a nice one. Nope.
Okay.
Ooh, I think.
Bottom right. Bottom right.
You stay out of this.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Top
That's not
left.
good.
I don't think we've seen that
Second
one
from
yet.
the top left.
Okay.
Oh, no.
There's a heal.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
I forgot the heal.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, the other second
Was it the second row or the first row?
It was the third row.
Was it
I
the
think it
second
was
row or the
the
first
top,
row?
Far right.
the top
one-
row, all the way to the
all the way
right.
to the
Far right. Far right.
That's
Oh, no, it was
Thanks for the help.
I didn't hear you.
Battle and hits right here.
It's okay. It's back. It's all okay.
Oh, wait, no, I just saw that one.
Yeah, we saw it. Yeah.
That wasn't the one.
Yeah, it's close enough. Oh, then he got. Oh, return.
What is it? Down the game of down real
It was a reversal, man.
Top.
How much HP do I have?
A lot.
Yeah, you're fine. We're gonna
More than Riley,
More
unfortunately.
than 50%.
Oh, wrong.
That was luck. I didn't know it was there.
Oh, you got Legolas.
I'm just gonna have to take my frustration out of people playing my game and make it harder, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
With the
People
runes.
love that.
That is the opposite of what we wanted. Okay. Shit, I feel bad now.
Yeah,
Like,
what have you
'cause you're
done
my
with
guest. Should we try, like, one more? Maybe I'll be on your team because
no.
Shannon kind of sucks. I'm just kidding.
I mean, Guys, I'm good at MMOs though, if that counts.
That counts for a lot.
Yes. All right. Well, we do have an after party where you will be able to speak with Riley and Matthew, but that will start in 15 minutes. And there are people who are streaming. If there are questions, if there is anything you guys want to know, like ask them now. It'll be on the live stream to answer for the audience. Anyone? You guys all gonna try Orbis, right? I mean, like we can talk about it in all space, but we can go over there and play, and then we'll come back here.
Already tried.
Quite possibly. Depends
when does it go
on
on
the
sale?
monetary value.
Yesterday.
Well played.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. That's a good thing to talk about. Yeah. Oh, are you trying to shake my hand? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Yes.
Hug
okay,
it out.
yes.
Well played.
Good game. So the game goes into early access on December 15th, and that's when it'll be on the Steam store and Oculus Home store to buy. And early access means we're out of beta, which is the period we just left, but it is still like, a fairly fresh game, so there will definitely still be some bugs, and we're still working out some kinks, but like the game's for real in the sense that we won't be wiping progress anymore. So, like while you're playing during the alpha and beta, I kind of felt bad for everybody because it's like, they do all these quests and they spend all this time playing, but we're just going to wipe their character back to nothing once we actually start the game for real. So if you were avoiding playing the game because you didn't want to deal with that, which I know is something that I've done in other games before, then now's the time to jump in because starting on December 15th, from that point forward, all your stuff really matters. All the time you spend getting XP and all the money you earn and everything else. If you buy the game directly from our website before noon tomorrow, noon Central Time, U.S. Central Time, then you'll be eligible for the Head Start. There's a 24-hour Head Start on December 13th. That is part of the early access as well. So if you already bought it, then you'll get a Steam key and or an Oculus key as well if you buy it from us directly. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to check out the website. But otherwise, you can wait till it comes on Steam or the Oculus store. So.
Yeah, and you guys want to play with me, right? Because I'm going to need all of you guys to basically help me survive. But also, yeah, well, if you know me at all, I like to buy my friendships because that's the only way it seems. So we at the Hive are going to give away a key. All right. Nice. So we're gonna give one away for you. So come back, like the video, ask more questions, engage with us, subscribe to our YouTube channel on Orbis, and we will pick a winner, and you will get to play on the 15th when it releases. So
awesome.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Look forward to seeing you all.
I'll be your personal bodyguard.
I don't know if I can trust you. Unless is there a quest where you could just talk people to death? Is there?
There's no talking to death, no.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And you can have the pocket lens all
so.
Do you have a question there?
Yeah, I do. I was wondering, because I heard that you guys have fishing in the game. Are you planning on adding any other, like, kind of mini experiences similar to Final Fantasy Online, like cooking specifically? Because that's super fun.
You say cooking?
Yeah,
cooking,
so...
not cooking, what the hell?
Yeah, we have two crafting classes in the game already right now, other than fishing. Fishing's one. We have alchemy, which is pretty cool because you actually get the actual cauldron, and you have to go gather ingredients, and then you have to put them in a certain order at a certain time with a certain heat level, and that's how you make the different potions in the game. So if that appeals to the people that seems to appeal to are people who like to gather lots of things in the world and follow very specific, recipes. You have to be very precise. And then you can also, the cool thing is you can take those potions, and we have an aging rack, which is something I don't think I've ever seen on an MMO. I'm sure somebody does it, but I've never played an MMO that does that. So once you make the potion, you can actually go age it. And so if you age a healing potion for, say, 2 weeks, it becomes like a concentrated healing potion. It's even better. That way, you can't just make any potion right away. It's like you have to have planning and foresight if you are going to take a potion to a raid, or something, or want to sell it on the marketplace. And then the other crafting class we have is called artificing. And it's a really cool idea. I have no idea long-term if it's going to work very well or not, but it's super unique. What it is you take a potion, and then you can watch other people play the game. And as they do things in the game, like combat and things like that, there's 36 different symbols that will appear above their head, and each one represents a different thing. So it might be casted a fireball spell, or, got attacked by 3 things in 5 seconds or something like that. And then you basically craft tile sets to match the patterns that seem to happen to them in combat to like represent their play style. And then if those patterns match, they get a bonus while they're playing the game. If that sounds really complicated, it is, or really weird. But you know, again, if so, like that's like the opposite. Like potions, is like follow the recipe. This is like free-form, creative puzzle solving thinking. You know, so
awesome.
Yeah, this is definitely a more mysterious part
really cool.
of the game.
That does
That's
sound
unique,
cool.
man. That's I've never been able to puzzle my friends to save their life, so that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
so that's what's already in the game. Yeah. So
No, that's awesome because, well, the thing is that this is a social game, which of course we love, right? And so we want any social application to succeed because if they succeed, we succeed. If we succeed, they succeed. So highly encourage you guys to go out there. Thank you guys so much for coming onto the show. I just want to say goodbye to our viewers. Everyone else in Altspace, if you want to jump on, we're going to have the party room is going to open up in about 5 minutes here. We're going to hang out. We're going to watch some videos, maybe an extended one of me not doing so well. But a lot of emojis, please, for our guests. And
Thanks for having us. It's awesome.
How about a dance?
Put your hands up. Don't stop. Put your hands